Man, that stator pickup is melted. Welcome back to the shop. This is part 2 of the YZ450 Self-Diagnostic Fault Code Diagnosis. Link in the description if you haven't caught part 1 already, but a quick recap. The bike was brought to me, he overheated it really bad or got it really hot and ended up melting the plastic little water spout right here. So in part 1 we put aluminum one in and a new coolant sensor, and the bike wasn't starting. I wasn't informed of that when it was dropped off, but later on I was informed of that, and I was like, whoa, hold on. So I had to dig a little bit deeper, and we chased it down to melting a stator pickup right here by checking the fault codes on the computer. So I went to purchase a stator cover gasket and a new stator. However, the stators are on back order and they're not expected to be in stock until like another half a month away. He races this bike, needs it back in a hurry. So I went on eBay and picked up a good used stator. So first thing I want to do is compare it to the OEM one real quick. Make sure it is an OEM stator. I don't want to put an aftermarket one in here. Them things can cause problems sometimes. Alright, so the terminals look the same color. You can see how dark this one is. I mean, he was getting it hot, and obviously it melted the pickup right there. He was getting this sucker hot. Now, as I mentioned in part 1, he did fry a set of clutches, the stock clutches, and that looks in good shape, so that's good. He did fry a set of stock clutches, and that does make a lot of heat if you keep riding the bike with a set of burnt clutches, which he said he did finish in moto to the point the bike was hardly moving itself along. And that'll get your motor oil really hot, and I'm thinking it was a combination of that and probably overheating the bike both together and just melted the pickup. But well, this is where the rubber meets the road. We're gonna pop this thing on there and see if that gets the bike to start up, and then we have to check and make sure he doesn't have any head gasket leaks or anything, and the bike runs good. Again, the bike was ran so hot to the point that it shut down on him. So we just have to check and make sure that everything's good. We're going to have to flush the coolant and all that because it literally burnt the coolant that was in the motor. I mean, the coolant came out like dark and almost like syrup. It just evaporated the water and left the oils of the coolant behind. All right, let's start popping this thing off here. Let me do that by hand. I don't want to strip it out. Just sometimes with these Torx and Allens, sometimes the impact is more likely to strip them out than your hand. These things on there tight. Got that one loose. Okay. These things on there pretty good. Okay, I put a better Torx on. I was having a hard time getting these things loose by hand. I got a nice fresh new one, and it seems it got that bolt out, and that one's already loose, so yep, it's working. Alright. I mean, I could have put this in my vise and then torqued it by hand, but yeah. Okay. Let me just see how this is positioned before I pull that one out. Okay. Let's get the pickup off. That thing, the plastic is melted right around that sucker. I'll get it off. Alright, let me clean this up real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, let's put the new stator in, the new used one, whatever you want to call it. The good stator in. Looks nice, doesn't look like it's gotten hot like like the one we just pulled out. See if I can get that to stay in there somehow for now. Oh, wrong way. The important thing here is that this little shield is going to be able to tuck all these wires up and out of the way so that the flywheel doesn't just wear right into them. I think that's going to be good right there, like that. Alright, let me get some Loctite thread locker, stuck nuts. I use the red for this. You can use the blue, but I personally like the red. It's inside the motor, a lot of heat, a lot of vibration. Red's usually going to be better for that task. Alright, let me get a ratchet and tighten that by hand. I sure hope he doesn't have a head gasket leak. I hope that it's just pop the stator on, she runs, and we can go right to flush out the coolant system. I'm hoping that's the situation. Okay, where'd my thread locker go? Here it is. Just a dab will do on this stuff. You don't have to go crazy with it. A little bit's all you need. I hope all you guys fared out well with that hurricane, and prayers to the guys that got hit pretty good. We over here, the Helene just came by us offshore. No damage around here really. I'm in Parrish, Florida. There wasn't any real damage, just lots of debris floating around, some tree limbs that were down, that kind of stuff. But holy cow, the Big Bend of Florida, going all the way up into South Carolina and stuff. Wow, you guys got hammered. Sorry about that. Lots of flooding. We did lose power for like 23 hours. Not too bad. Okay, the new gasket. Here we are. Let me go put a new gasket on it, and we're going to slide this stator cover on. Okay, pop the new gasket in place. The owner of this bike, Jack, he's a really fast guy. He owns two YZ450 two-strokes as well. Went to Day City on Sunday, riding on practice day, the extended track, and I was on my YZ450, and some guy went blasting by me on a YZ450. I looked and it was number 231. It was Jack. Like, son of a... Dude's fast. He wants his 450 back though, so we gotta get it up and going. Alright, stator cover time. Just gotta move some of this stuff out of the way so I can get... The stator cover, this flywheel's going to grab the stator on. This makes it difficult to put them on sometime because you're fighting the magnetic pull. Hold on one second. Let me clear this up a little bit. We got all this stuff just getting in the way. Alright, let me try this again. Get it right there, and the gasket just came off again. Come on now, where are you? There we go. Okay, I think I got it. Alright, pull this back up top. Alright, let me get the hardware. Okay, just setting all the hardware in place here. That sealing washer actually goes on this bottom left one right here. There it is. Thought I lost one for a second. All right. All right, now I'll tighten these up by hand. Get them snug as a bug. We're about to find out in a minute. About to hit the start button and see what happens. Actually, while I'm sitting here talking, let me get this thing on the battery charger. He's in my lap again, right when we're about to start it up. Okay, let's connect these wires up here. All right, come on, we gotta go in here. Woo, you stank. All right. If I remember correctly, yeah, this one will plug in here. And slide that boot up. This one will plug in here. Okay, we're gonna leave all that like that for now. We're just gonna give it a test fire. Okay, fingers crossed. Choke is on. Oh, this is why I always like to put a reminder. Right here, this little zip tie reminds me, don't start this thing yet till you get some motor oil in it. Let me fill up some oil real quick. Okay, let's give it a shot. Fingers crossed, choke is on. Fingers crossed. Woo! It runs. Alright, let me shut the choke off real quick. Alright, start it back up one more time. Runs and it sounds good. Let me open this door and get them fumes out of here. Yeah, she runs. She sounds good. I don't hear anything clanking, clacking, or anything like that. Hey, let me connect the radiator back up. I'm gonna leave all the plastic off it for the time being. I want to make sure, you know, because what if the head gasket's blown? Then I gotta take all that stuff back off, right? So I need to check that, make sure the head gasket made it alive through all this. So let me connect the radiator back up. I'm just gonna fill her up with water for right now, just to test it. Plus we have to flush it and stuff. But let me just get some water in it. I'll be right back. Okay, she's full of water. Let's fire her up and let her just get nice and warm. Sit here and let her warm up on her own. I'll be right back. Might as well connect to the app while we're sitting here. We'll see how that's looking. Connect to it real quick. Codes, none. So we're doing good. That trouble code, what was it, 21 or 12? I forgot, but that's gone. So that's good. Let's see. And again, you gotta have your GPS on. What the heck? Alright. Reading 13 volts, 32 degrees Celsius. The water temperature is up to 64 degrees. Okay. Just let her get a little bit warmer. Okay, she's up to 75 degrees Celsius, which that's about running temperature, so let's see. I mean, I'm not a Celsius guy, I'm a Fahrenheit guy, but I did a quick conversion and that puts us up to temperature. I think like 76 degrees Celsius is 170 Fahrenheit. That's good enough. All we need to do is get it nice and warm, about running temperature, and let it sit for a few minutes and see if the head gasket holds. You know, I'm not expecting, if the head gasket went bad, I'm not going to expect to see water coming outside the cylinder, outside the motor. And I don't expect to see water getting in the motor oil. Yes, that can happen. That does happen when head gaskets go bad. But typically when a head gasket goes bad because you severely overheated the bike, it actually burns the head gasket between the combustion chamber, the cylinder, and the water jacket. And what happens is the bike will run fine for the most part. It might push coolant out of the overflow because the compression in the combustion chamber, the pressure can bleed off into the water jacket and up into your radiators and over pressurize the system, and then it pushes coolant out the overflow. That can happen. But another thing that can happen is when you shut the bike off and you just let it sit here on a hot bike, when the system's pressurized, now water can dribble up into the combustion chamber. And when you go to start the bike back up, it can make it very difficult to start because there's water in the combustion chamber. So that's what we're checking. But for good measure, while I'm sitting here, let me look around the motor real quick and see if there's any water dripping outside externally. We're looking good. I think she's been sitting long enough to let us know if we have the water getting into the combustion chamber situation. If she fires right up, we're going to be good. So let's give it a shot. This YZ450 is going to live to see another day. Okay, let's roll her out and flush out that coolant system because, man, he burnt that coolant down to mud. Alright, let's flush this coolant system. First I'm going to drain what's in there. So this thing was toasty. Let's take the radiator cap off. Just sit here and let it all drain out. Okay. Drain bolt back in. Now I'm going to fill it back up with water real quick. Right from the water hose for now with all the fluoride and everything in it. Just fill that up real quick. Okay, got that full. Put the radiator caps off. I'm going to start it up and I'll remove the drain bolt while it's idling, and then I'll be filling up with fluid. I'll just be replacing the water up at the top of the radiator as it's coming out the bottom. I'm just going to let it run like that for a little bit and kind of just flush everything through. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let all that drain out, but now we have to get all that chlorine, the fluoride out of it, because we don't need the fluoride in there lowering this bike's IQ, that's for certain. But we need to get all that out of there before we fill it up with fresh coolant. So what I'm gonna do is drain it all the way down, seal it back off. I'm gonna fill it up with distilled water, run the bike for a minute, and then drain it again, and then we can put some coolant in it. Okay, fill her up with some distilled water. There we go. For this, I'll put the cap back on. Start her up. Let let her run for a little bit, let all that stuff circulate around and collect all the fluoride out of there. Alright, and I'll drain that back out. Then we'll roll her back in the shop. I'm going to fill her up with coolant. I have to put all the plastic back on and stuff too. Get the radiator cap off so that'll pour out. Alright, let me drain that out and I'll meet you back in the shop. Okay, got it nice and filled up with some Peak, the Asian blue. It already comes mixed for you with distilled water and coolant, so it's just ready to use. Just pour it right on in. Okay, let me button all this stuff back up on it real quick. Okay, all the plastic's back on it, everything's looking good. Before I call it good, let me tap into the computer one last time, make sure just no codes popped up while we're doing all that running. So let me tap back into it. I gotta hit the starter button real quick to light up the electronics. That's all you gotta do, just a quick little jab. And let me connect to it on Wi-Fi here. Let's find it, let's see. Where you at? Come on now. I'll do this. I'll shut off my Wi-Fi. Turn it back on. I know I just hit the start button. There it is. It's connecting. Okay. Alright. Now let me go to the app. Alright. Let's make sure we're connected. Let's go down here to Maps. Hello. And let's try downloading the map. Retrieve map. Okay. Map 1. Okay. Just check. Okay. Okay, it was able to pull map 1. Boy, he's adding a lot of ignition on this thing. +4 across the board. As fast as he is, I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, I'll talk to him about it, but that's definitely going to make more heat. Let's, out of curiosity, let's see what his. Just close this screen. Okay, cancel. Let's see what his map 2 looks like. Let's see. Map 2 is opposite, so he's removing timing and still adding some fuel. Okay. But anyway, we know we're connected now, so let's go ahead and check for codes. Let's go to maintenance over here, diagnostic codes. There are none. Let me try starting it up real quick. Still no codes. Now I'm going to have to open the shop up and air it out. Okay, I still got to put the skid plate back on her, but I can do that off camera. That's not a big deal. Otherwise, she is done and ready to go. There's the water spout that just melted. That's crazy. So we replaced that and the coolant sensor. We did the coolant sensor, I believe, for no reason, but he asked me to when he first dropped it off. So, and I thought he knew something I didn't. I thought he already ran the code, so I ordered one. This was the real problem right here. Just a burnt pickup. So we put a whole new stator in it, a good used one. So that's in there. And then this aluminum water spout from XPR. That'll keep that from melting again. So far she's holding her coolant just fine. I believe she's going to be good. I'm going to have her stick her back on the track and do some easy laps. I'm going to tell them to take it easy for the first moto or two. You know, just make sure everything checks out good, because this bike was pretty much severely overheated. So we want to make sure that everything's going to be good before he starts trying to huck-a-buck some huge triples or anything. But yeah, so this weekend I'm going to be taking out not my YZ450. I got my YZ125 in the other shop. I'm going to be pulling that one out and taking that thing out this weekend. I think I'm going to be going to Tampa MX on Sunday, if the weather holds. If we have another storm out there somewhere and it's supposed to be coming through some time, and well, we'll see how the weather holds in the weekend, but I'm surely hoping to get out there and ride. Appreciate you guys for watching this. Hope all you guys get a good ride in, good weekend of riding in. Hope you guys are doing good out there. Stay safe from all these storms. Hope you guys fared out well. Catch you in the next video.